Now this is our mentorship program and uh, modern India. Am I right? The next revision round will be for this modern India. Modern India we divided into two slots. Am I right? Fine. So first slot will go up to 1850s revolt and some selected topics we discussed. Now here, these are some questions which we discussed from mains perspective. From mains perspective, you see, poverty of Indian people was the consequences of government's land revenue and taxation policy. So this is one of the very important topic you have to prepare for your prelims examination and mains examination. You know the land revenue policies of the British. Most importantly, zamindari settlement, permanent settlement is there, mahalwari settlement is there, rayotwari settlement is there. So actually this is very important. Very recently, last year also you have seen, or maybe 2019 also you have seen, they asked you question from this. Am I right? So you should know the land revenue policies. What were the land revenue policies introduced by this British colonial government here? What were their features? Okay, why they introduced such land revenue policies? Permanent settlement, mahalwari, rayotwari settlements. What were their salient features? What were their impact or implications on government, peasants, or these intermediaries, etc. Okay, so land revenue policies, you should go for the land revenue policies, their salient features, their impact on these peasants or farmers or different social classes, on intermediaries and on government. Okay, now this can be a question UPSC asks in the mains examination, even in the prelims also. Okay, can we say that Indian poverty and continuous famines were result of these land revenue policies of the British? Okay, if such a question is asked, I will share with you some points to answer. What points you can bring into your body part of your answer? Obviously, excessive land revenue demand by this government, permanent settlement, mahalwari or rayotwari, whatever this land revenue settlement, the revenue demand from the people, it was so high. It is beyond their limits or beyond their capacity. Am I right? Land revenue demand was so heavy that the farmers were not able to make the payments to this British. So what they will do? If it is permanent settlement, they have to make the payment to zamindar to the government. If it is rayotwari, yes, the cultivator directly responsible to pay to the state. Mahalwari, the entire mahal is responsible for, yes, collection and payment of the revenue to the state. So whatever these revenue settlements, the land revenue demand was very heavy. The people were not able to produce that much, and that time they will borrow from the money lenders, and they will fall in the trap of the money lenders, rural indebtedness, and eventually resulting in this famine and poverty. Another is defective land tenure system, no investment in agriculture. You see that, for example, Permanent Settlement Act. In Permanent Settlement Act, Zamindar was the owner of the land, but he was least interested to invest into the land. Okay, he always forced the farmer to produce maximum. Okay, cultivate to maximum, produce maximum. He collected maximum from the farmers, but the Zamindar never invested into land. If not investing into land means you cannot expect a surplus production next time. Am I right? So you see that the defective land tenure system, no investment made into the land by either the owner of the land or by the farmers. Obviously, result was, yes, decrease in the surplus of the produce, or eventually leading to famine, poverty kind of the situations. Outdated farm technology. No investors are there, no serious investors are there. Nobody is, I mean, fertilizers or maybe whatever new technological methods of production, nothing is there. Entire responsibility falls on the farmer. Farmer has nothing left with him to invest into the land. Okay, so that is again outdated farm technology. That was also an outcome of this, let me tell you, this land tenure system, eventually leading to this famine, poverty, less production, no production, etc. Absentee landlordism. The zamindars are not living in the land. Am I right? Zamindars are made in permanent settlement. You see, zamindars are made the owner of the land, but they are not living in these estates. They are living in the cities. They are sucking the wealth of the rural areas and they are wasting in the cities. They are celebrating in the cities. Okay, they are least concerned about these concerns of the farmers in the village. The zamindars are living in the cities. They are extracting maximum from the farmers and celebrating in the cities. So there was an absentee landlordism. There was an absentee landlordism. Then so many intermediaries came into the scene. Money collectors are there, revenue collectors are there, money lenders are there, okay, or this new class of merchants are there. So many intermediaries came into the scene, and directly or indirectly, they also started exploiting the farmers. They also started exploiting farmers financially, physically, sexually, all the way they exploited the farmers. All these eventually resulting in, yes, debt burdens and these poverty, famines, etc. with the rural people or the farmers. Destruction of these handloom industries. Okay, initially you can see that the farmers were producing large quantity of this raw material for these cottage industries, etc. Now you can see that many people returned into agriculture. There is overcrowding in agriculture, fragmentation of the land, and surplus production is also regulated, and there is tax burden on the farmers. Okay, so you see that they are not in a position to make or position to produce these raw material for their cottage industries. Even the British demand is like cultivating these cash crops instead of food crops. Okay, all the way you can see that what all the industries associated with this agriculture, that was also badly affected by these land revenue policies of the British, because British wanted, or the British land revenue policy meant maximum collection, no investment into land, maximum collection, maximum extraction from the land. Okay, then see salt tax. Another biggest issue was that salt tax imposition, but that is one of the very you see that one of the very brutal like a suppression. I mean, one of the policy of the brutal suppression of the British in India. You can see heavy salt taxes imposed upon the people. Now the people are not in a position to buy salt. Then there is high cases of this iodine deficiency, and they were with a different kind of the illness, sickness, and they are not physically healthy to cultivate or to do these activities in the farm. Okay, so these are some points you can bring into your answer. Because of these reasons, let us say that land revenue policies had been instrumental for these poverty and famine cases in India. Okay, now randomly we selected some topics. Another topic was definitely it was Treaty of Basin. You know Treaty of Basin. UPC may ask the question like this: how this Treaty of Basin important for British to establish their paramountcy in Western India? Okay, how this Treaty of Basin important for the British to establish their paramountcy in this Western India? In prelims, they can ask the questions like this: Treaty of Basin, its basic features. Which one of the following is basic feature of Treaty of Basin? Or who are the parties involved in the signing of the Treaty of Basin? Or Treaty of the Basin was the it is related to which of the following historical event? That way UPC can ask question. Treaty of Basin, this is related to Anglo-Maratha Wars. This is related to Anglo-Maratha War. This is related to, more precisely, Second Anglo-Maratha War. And we have seen that there is a power struggle among these Maratha confederacies. You know who are the Maratha confederacies? Peshwa is there, Bonsle, Scindia, Gaikwad, Holkar, etc. Okay, so there is always a fight among these Maratha confederacies, internal conflicts. Now here the Peshwa versus Holkar fight is there, in which this Peshwa was defeated. So Peshwa sought help from the British. British said, okay Peshwa, we will support you, but we have to sign a treaty, a subsidiary treaty. That treaty was Treaty of Basin. Treaty of Basin. Okay. So Peshwa Bajirao II was defeated by Holkar. Now Bajirao II sought the support of the British. Now Peshwa Bajirao and the British signed a treaty, that was Treaty of Basin. Treaty of Basin 1802. Am I right? The treaties are very important. Their provisions are also very important. And if you check this Treaty of Basin, you can see that yes, one of the very important commercial center, Surat, was like assigned to British. Surat handed over to British. Okay, Surat handed over. It was one of the major hub of maritime trade. One of the major hub of this maritime trade, a very popular industrial center, commercial hub. Similar way, many other territories also handed over to this British. So for British, it is a huge income here. Okay, annually they are getting 26 lakhs of income from these territories. Okay, in return, British promised that we will support you from other Maratha confederates. We will support you from other Maratha confederates and from other enemies, etc. So many territories handed over to this British. I mean their administration, revenue administration handed over to British, and the British stationed their subsidiary troops at this Pune, okay, to support this Peshwa. And also Peshwa was asked that no negotiations without my permission. If you do anything, that is with my permission. British said, Peshwa, if you do anything with my permission only. Okay. So this Treaty of Basin, you understand that it helped this British to establish their paramountcy or their sovereignty over Marathas and this Western India through this subsidiary alliance. Okay, through this subsidiary alliance, you understand that yes, they got revenue control of this Western India, or maybe you imagine many territories and the revenue administration handed over to this British. So it made them, I mean, resource point of view, it made them super strong. And obviously, company got unquestionable supremacy over this Western India, over these Marathas. Okay, Maratha was a bigger challenge for them over Western India. Now, by signing this treaty, British got control over this Western India. Then also, this Treaty of Basin provided them a permanent peace so that they can focus on other areas. British has to fight other areas, am I right? They have to fight in the south, they have to take care in the north, they have to take care in the east, etc. Tribal uprisings, etc. So, by signing a peace treaty with these Marathas means, yes, they can focus on other areas, they can settle the disputes in other areas. So, it provided them a permanent peace for some time. Okay, now the Maratha Peshwa is their allies. Okay, treaty solution to weaken Maratha confederacy. Signing this treaty with the Peshwas, you know, that was a solution for the British to weaken the position of other Maratha confederates like Scindia, Holkar, or this Bonsle, etc. Then obviously it provided them control over many resources also. You see, this like when the Peshwa assigned this revenue administration of the territories to these British means they got control over this like revenue of those territories. Am I right? So that resources was essential for British to establish their sovereignty and to fight and defeat other powers here. Okay, again see, yes, the subsidiary troops, British stationed the troops at this Peshwa or at the border of this Peshwa. I mean, they stationed it in Pune. So that what happened is Peshwa lost his control over own troops. You know, he is dependent on British now. British troops are stationed there. Okay, that means the offensive capacity of the British increased there. British troops are there. British troops are there for the support of the Peshwa. British troops are deployed there. Now British offensive capacity increased there. Anytime they can withdraw the forces, anytime they can use the forces to fight other rivals also. Okay, in fact the Peshwa lost his offensive capacity over that region. And all these are the advantages of this Treaty of Basin. So you understand how the Treaty of Basin was historically important for British to establish their sovereignty over Western India. What all the advantages with this Treaty of Basin? In prelims also they can ask a question, which one of the following was an advantage of Treaty of Basin for British? Or which one of the following was like, you know, in favor of this British in relation to Treaty of Basin? That way they can ask. Or which one of the following is like a feature of Treaty of Basin? That way they can ask the questions in the prelims also.